So in the previous session, we have discussed about update statement and the upsert statement, how to perform update operations on your Salesforce object records, and how can we perform upsert operations we have discussed. And now we'll see one more statement, the last one, merge statement, and then we'll see what exactly the database class, why should we go for this. The second way of using DML statements. Now, so what do you mean by merge statement? What did you understood with this? Hmm,
Combining.
hmm. Combining multiple duplicate records into single records. Because whenever we are storing some data inside our object, we might be having some multiple records which maybe belongs to the same customer, which maybe belongs to that same lead also. In these kind of situations, instead of holding this multiple records with the same details, we can able to merge this multiple duplicate records into a single record so that we can maintain the quality of data. We can avoid some redundant data or duplicate data from your Salesforce object so that we can utilize the memory very, very efficiently so that we can store much data inside our database and then we can increase your application performance as well. So in that case, whenever if you want to combine the multiple duplicate records into a single record, we can use the help of merge statement. Then how this merge statement will work? What are the considerations? What are the limitations that we have for this merge statement? Now let me explain. Now, so basically, merge statement allows us to merge multiple duplicate records into a single record. That facility is available. But in this case, upon merging the records, there are few limitations. There are few considerations that we have in Apex programming. Then what exactly those merge statement considerations? Now let's see one by one. Suppose for example, assume that I have a customer record. This is the account record one. We have an account record one. And then we have account record two. We have account record three. And we have account record 4. These are the 4 account records are available over here inside my account object. So now these 4 records are belongs to the same customer. Account record 1 and the 2, 3 and the 4, all these 4 records are belongs to the same customer. Now in this case, instead of holding the same customer data in 4 separate records, I would like to combine them into a single record. As a data cleaning process, whatever the unused data that we have, whatever the duplicate data, redundant data that we have inside my objects, I would like to eliminate by combining the duplicate records into single record. So now in this case, I would like to use the help of merge statement. Now in this case, whenever I'm using this merge statement, at a time, merge statement allows us to merge maximum of 3 records at a time. At a time, merge statement allows us to merge maximum of 3 records, not more than that. Okay, now, so these are the 3 records we can able to merge at a time. These 3 records we can merge into a single record. That means account record 2, I'm merging into account record 1. Account record 3, I'm merging into account record 1. So we are going to merging this record 2 and the record 3 into record 1. So now tell me in this case, whenever I'm merging this account record 2 and the 3 into the account record 1, then what about these 2 records here? Will those 2 records will available? No. Those 2 records will be getting deleted from your Salesforce object. These two records will be deleted. So once the records has been, that means these are the source records. This is the account record, one is a target. This is a target record. This is a source. This is also source. Whenever we are merging this source record into the target record, automatically source record will be getting deleted here. Automatically source record will be deleting from that object. Now, here you can raise a question. Sir, it is deleting the record from the object. Will it delete these records permanently or will it be available in recycle bin for the next 15 days? These records will be deleting only from the object. These records are available in the recycle bin for the next 15 days. In future, within this 15 days, if you want this record back, then you can bring them back also. That facility is available. So whenever we are going to merging this source records into target, automatically source records will be getting deleted from the object, and then the target record will be available inside your object. The source records will be available inside your recycle bin as it is for the next 15 days. Okay, understood the concept here? Now, this is the first point over here. Now, second point. Whenever we are merging the records inside your Salesforce object, merge statement supports to merge account records, lead records, contact records. Only these three objects will be supporting by merge statement. Remaining object records it won't support. Merge statement doesn't support the remaining Salesforce objects. It supports only account, contact, lead. That means we can combine or we can merge multiple account records into single account. We can combine multiple leads into single lead. We can combine multiple contacts into single contact, but it won't support the remaining standard remaining custom objects. Okay, merge statement currently supporting to merge the records related to account, contact, and the lead object. Okay, this is a second point over here. Third point here. Okay, now third point. So now whenever we are going to merging these records here, okay, whenever I'm merging these records, now let me explain the point here. For example, I have three records are available here. All the three are account records. Account 1, account 2, account 3. These are the three records are available here. Now for these three records, I'm having some related childs. Like account record A1 is having some related contacts. So there are 4 related contacts, 2 related opportunities, 6 related cases. Okay, we have an account record that is A1. For the account A1, we have 4 related contacts, 2 opportunities, 6 cases. Next, second one, account record A2. For the account record 2, we are having 1 contact, 4 opportunities, 3 cases. 3 cases. For the account record 3, we are having 2 contacts, 3 opportunities, 5 cases. Okay, these are the 3 records are available here, which I'm going to match. But these 3 records are not independent records. These are having some related records. Account record A1 contains some related contacts, opportunities in the cases. Account record 2 is having some related childs. Account 3 is having some related childs. Now I'm merging these 3 records over here. I'm merging this account record A2 and the A3 into that A1. These 2 records are merging into account record A1 because this is the target record. These 2 are the source records. This is also source. This is also source. Now tell me, whenever I'm merging these two records, A2 and the A3 inside this A1, then what about this related child records? So account record details will be merging into account A1 automatically. Then what about the related childs? These child records will get deleted or what? Sorry? How? Hmm. Appending means what? So what is the need of array here? We are having some records. Hmm. Hmm. Now tell me here. Whenever I'm merging this account record A2 and the A3 into A1, then how many contacts will be there for this A1? Now, in this case here, whenever we are merging some records into from source to target, if the source records are having any related childs, these child records will be transferring to that target record automatically. That means this contact record will be transferring to A1. Though these contacts will be targeting to A1, so that here it will be having already it is having 4 records and then one contact from A2, 2 contacts from A3. Total how many records will be there? 7 records. Now these are 4 opportunities and the 3 opportunities. Already it is having this 2 opportunities here. Now already we have 4 opportunities from A2, 3 opportunities from A3. So total it will be having 9 records. Then here we are having already 6 cases are available, 3 cases from A2 and 5 cases from A3. Total we are having 14 cases. So whenever we are merging these independent records will merge automatically here. If the records are having any related childs, these source records, child records will be transferring to target record automatically by default over here. Clear? So once you are done with merging operation here, account record A1 contains total 7 contacts, 9 opportunities, 14 cases will be available inside this. Okay. So the account record 2, account record 3 related child records will be transferring to account record 1 automatically here. 14? Hmm. No, see, here we don't have any more account record 2 and account record 3. These records will be simply transferring. That means previously, as of now, who is the parent over here? A2. Now the parent will be A1 automatically. It will change the parent. It will be transferring the record ownership over here. It will transfer. Okay, the owner parent will be transferring automatically here. Previously, the parent will be A2. Now it will be the parent will be A1 automatically. So for this 2 cases, 2 contact records, as of now, the parent will be A3. Now the parent will be A1. Okay, the parent will be getting transferred automatically by default. Clear? Now, then how can we do this one? Okay, now let me show you. So let me give you the syntax here. How can we do this? Now,
Sir, I have a doubt here, sir. So merge supports, you said merge supports only account, contacts, and lead, but here
right.
we have cases and opportunities. So is that okay? Is it
Now,
fine?
so merge will be supporting only account and the contact and opportunity. That means here, sorry, account, contact, and lead. But
Lead, yeah.
here, when coming to these opportunities and the cases, these are not merging, these are transferring.
Okay.
Okay,
So those
these are
child
not
records are
merging, these are
transferred.
transferring.
Okay.
Right, child records will be the owner parent will be transferred. That's it.
Okay. Okay, sir. Got it, sir. Thank
Okay,
you. Yes.
now make a note of this one. By using this statement, we can merge the multiple duplicate records into a single record. By using this statement, we can match the multiple duplicate records into a single record. While merging the source records into target record, then after merging, source records will get removed from the object and will be available in recycle bin for next 15 days as it is. And these will be available in recycle bin for the next 15 days as it is. Now, at a time, merge statement allows us to match maximum of 3 records into a single record. At a time, merge statement allows us to merge maximum of 3 records into a single record. Merge statement supports to match the records related to only account, contact, and lead objects. But it won't support the remaining Salesforce objects. Now, now, while merging the source records into target, if the source records contains any related childs, then it will transfer the child records to the target record automatically. Syntax: merging two records. We can specify merge target record and space source record. Merging three records. In that case, we can specify merge target record and list of source records by using database class. Database start merge, we can specify the target record, list of source records, and a boolean parameter which returns the result in the form of database dot merge result array. Okay. Will you work on a requirement? I will give you the small use case. You can work on this one. Now, write an Apex program to match two account records into a single account record. Now, just you can query two records over here. Okay, first account record store into a separate variable. Second account record store into a separate variable. Once both the records are available, use the merge statement and we can merge them here. Okay. Now, done with this syntaxes here till now. Now this is your use case requirement. Now the next one. Database class methods. Then what do you mean by this database class? What is the use? Why should we go for database class methods in Salesforce? What is the need of database class methods? How these are different from normal DML statements? Now let me explain. Let me show you with a practical example to you. Sorry? Hmm. Sorry? You have to write. That's what I have given this assignment to you. Okay. Now let's see what exactly the database class methods. I'm going to my Salesforce org now. I'm going to the developer console. So let me open my class. Now I want to create some bulk records inside my object. I want to create some bulk records over here. Now I'm inserting bulk hiring manager records. How many records I'm inserting in this case here? How many? How many records I'm inserting in this use case? 200
200.
records. Now, so the for loop is repeating from 1 to till it is reaching to 200 here. So now I'm using the bulkification mechanism over here. So I'm using a list collection to hold all the records. I'm using a for loop. For loop is iterating from 1 to till it is reaching to 200 here. Every time counter value will be incrementing by 1. So totally my for loop is going to be processing 200 records. But all the 200 records I'm not inserting separately by using a separate DML statement. I'm using bulkification mechanism. So I'm preparing the record over here. I'm giving the record details as HR record hyphen counter. Now HR record 1, HR record 2 like that up to 200. Location I'm indicating as some Noida. And I'm giving the email ID as hrrecord plus counter @gmail.com. Designation I'm giving as HR executive. Contact number I'm giving some value. And then current CTC I'm giving as some 12 lakhs. And this is a permanent opportunity. Okay. Now I'm trying to be inserting 200 hiring manager records inside my object by giving the name as HR record hyphen 1, HR record hyphen 2 like that. Location is Noida. Email ID is HR record 1 @gmail.com like that. Designation HR executive, contact number, current CTC and the employment type. All these values we have supplied. I'm adding all the records to the collection. And then I'm inserting the bulk records into my object. This is what the piece of code I have written. Now tell me, whenever we are creating a new hiring manager record, what fields are mandatory fields? Hiring manager is our custom object. In this hiring manager object, what fields are mandatory fields over here? Name field is ultimately mandatory because it's a standard field given by Salesforce. Now, apart from that name field, what else are mandatory? Contact number, email ID. Now, in this case here, while creating a new record, compulsorily we have to pass a value for name, contact number, email ID. Remaining field values are optional. If you want, we can pass. If you want to, if you don't want, leave it. No problem. Now, let me explain the scenario. Here, I am going to be adding a condition. If counter value not equals to 198. Here I am adding a condition. Now I have written a small condition over here if counter value not equals to 108. That means 198. I am writing this email ID here. What it means. What this condition indicates. If the counter value not equals to 198. Right. In this case, what happened here? Now, whenever we are going to be preparing the records, for each record we are passing name, value, location, email ID, contact number, and then current CTC, designation, location, employment type, all these things are supplying here. But for 198th record, I'm not passing email ID value. That means what I'm doing, I'm trying to make a record to be get failed because I know that email ID is a mandatory field inside my object here. If I'm not passing the email ID value for the record cannot be processed over here. Record cannot be inserted. I know that, but even though forcefully, I would like to make a record to be get failed. Okay, because here intentionally I'm making a record to be get failed because here I want to check what will happen in this case. I'm trying to be inserting 200 records. In this 200 records, if one record is not having the mandatory field value, then what will happen in this case? Now, let me show you with practical. Now, let me execute this. Here, before that, let me check how many records are available in this object as of now. How many records as of now? 216 records are available over here. Now I'm trying to be executing this piece of code. This is a method which I'm going to insert. Now let me go to that. I'm invoking this method. I'm invoking this method now. Now tell me here what is your result? What will happen in this case? Remaining will be processed. Now let's see. What is error message here? System.dml exception. Insertion has been failed. The first error has been occurred on row 197. Why it is showing 197? I'm not passing the mandatory field value for 198 record, right? Then why it is showing 197? Why iteration process 197? We have started from 1, so 1, right? Well, for 198 record, I'm not passing the values. Why it is showing 197 here? Required field missing is okay, fine, that is correct. But with this is I'm not passing the value for 198 record. Then why it is showing 197? Whenever we are inserting these records into the object, what we are doing? We are going to be using bulkification mechanism. In bulkification mechanism, what we did, we are preparing the record, adding to the collection. Preparing the second record, adding to the collection. Third record, adding to the collection. Total 200 records we have added to the collection. What collection we have used? Listic collection. In listic collection, how each and every record will be getting identified by using index position. Index will be starting from where? 0. Then in that case, if the listic collection index is starting from 0, then 198 record will be available at what index position? 197. That is a functionality over here. So that's what here it is indicating the number 197. So now the required field is missing here. The record cannot be inserted. Now, so now here in this case here, 198 record has been failed. Then what about the remaining records then? When I click on OK, now my error message has been gone. Now let's refresh this user interface, observe what will happen in this case. How many records are available in this case? Now let's see. Do we have the same number of records or still 199 records has processed? What happened? Complete operation has been cancelled. That means what here, when coming to the DML statement, whatever the DML statements are available, DML statements are purely atomic statements. Atomic statements. Atomic means what? Atom in the sense 1. Atomic means 1. So now here in this case, when coming to the DML statements are purely atomic statements where all the operations should have only one result, either success, either cancel. not partial. Some are processed, some are failed, not like that here. Either all the operations should be cancelled or either all the operations should be success. Why? Because is each DML statement internally use the implicit transaction. Each DML statement will use internally implicit transaction. Each transaction will be having okay, the functionalities of ACID properties. Transaction will be supporting ACID properties like as atomicity, consistency, isolation, and the durability. So each transaction will be having that these are four principles. These are the four pillars of okay transactions. So now in this case here, when coming to the transaction, each transaction will be supporting these four principles: atomicity, consistency, isolation, and the durability. These are the ACID properties over here. So now in this case, as part of this transaction will be supporting atomicity. That means here atomic, the transaction result should be only one. Whatever the group of records you are trying to process, all the records will be executing under the transaction over there. Whatever the records you are trying to process, all the records will be executing under the transaction. Whenever it is trying to be inserting 200 records, first of all, it will be preparing a transaction over here. This is the transaction, for example. Transaction. Now, under the transaction, it is performing the DML operations. Like it is inserting first record inserted, second record inserted, third record inserted, fourth record inserted. Like that here, 197 records inserted here. But when coming to the 198th record, this record has been failed. Whenever here we are performing the operations under the control of a transaction, okay, under this transaction, if any of the operation has been failed, all the previous operations will be getting cancelled automatically by default. So if all the operations are success, then okay, fine. Or else all the previous operations will be getting cancelled over here. This is the functionality of transaction. So transaction will be having only one possible result, either success or failure. That means either commit or rollback. Committing means what? Saving permanently into the database. Rollback means what? Cancelling all the previous operation. When it will commit, if all the 200 records are inserted, it will be committing the transaction. So now when it will roll back, if any of the record has been failed, it will roll back all the previous operations. Rollbacking means cancelling all the previous operations over here. So that here, when coming to the DML statements are purely atomic statements which internally using some implicit transactions. Because of the transaction, if any of the record insertion has been failed, the whole transaction will get cancelled automatically by default. This is a functionality of okay, DML statement. Now, but my requirement is I want to allow partial processing mechanism. What do you mean by this partial processing mechanism? Whenever I'm inserting some records inside this object, first record inserted, for example, second record inserted, third record inserted, fourth record inserted, like that some 197 records inserted. But upon inserting 198th record, it has been failed. In this case, if the record is failed, don't cancel the previous operation. Just you can skip this record, ignore this record, continue with the 199th record and the 200th record also. That means remaining records I would like to continue as it is. So whenever we are going to be performing the operations on these records, if any of the record operation is failed, just you can skip the record, continue with the rest of the records as it is over here. So that here in this case, by end of this execution of all these 200 records, one record has been failed, remaining 199 records has been processed successfully. That means some records are processed, some records are failed. This kind of partial processing mechanism I would like to implement. But DML statements won't support this kind of partial processing mechanism. This is the second drawback of DML statements. First drawback is DML statements are purely atomic statements. Second drawback is DML statements won't support any partial processing mechanism. Next, third problem. Third problem with the DML statements is DML statements won't provide any proper tracking mechanism. That means whenever we are processing the records, what is the result of each and every record operation? Whether record is inserted or not. If the record is inserted, what is the ID generated by Salesforce here? Now I would like to track that result of each and every record operation, but as part of DML statements, this kind of tracking mechanism is not available. So these are the three limitations or three drawbacks that we have as part of DML statements. First drawback is DML statements are purely atomic statements. Second one, they are not supporting partial processing mechanism. Third one, these are not providing any proper tracking mechanism to track the result of each and every record operation through programming. So now, to avoid these kind of three drawbacks, we are going to be using the help of a feature called as database class. We are using the help of a class called as a database class. Database is a built-in class. It's a ready-made class which has been given by Apex programming language by default, which is used to interact with your database.com, which is used to interact with your Salesforce objects through programming, and then we can perform all the DML operations on your object records. Like we can insert the records, we can update the records, we can delete the records, we can upset the records, we can perform all the DML operations on your object records. So that here, database is a built-in class to connect with your Salesforce objects through programming. We can perform all the DML operations and SQL queries as well. So now in this case, database class methods are okay, purely extended methods here. That means what? Whatever the DML statements that we have, in this DML statements, we are having some limitations. To overcome the limitations, database class provides some collection of extension methods. Those are purely static methods which can be accessible just with the help of class name dot method name, like database dot insert, database dot update, database dot delete. Like that, we can access the methods by using class name dot method name. So now database class methods are always overcome all the three drawbacks of your DML statements. In DML statements, whatever the three drawbacks that we have listed out, all those three drawbacks we can overcome with the help of database class methods. That means now as part of this database class methods, we can enable partial processing mechanism also. We can track the record results also upon performing the operation. Each and every record operation we can able to track through programming. That possibilities are available here. So that we have some built-in additional classes are available as part of this database class. We'll see each and every class one by one here. Okay, understood the concept now? This is the difference between normal DML statement insert and database dot insert method. Normal insert statement will be having some three drawbacks. To overcome this three drawbacks, we are using database dot insert method. Okay, because it's 100% common question in every interview. Okay, now make a note of this one. Database class. While performing the DML operations, and the Salesforce object records, while performing the DML operations and the Salesforce object records, by using DML statements, it causes the below issues. First one, DML statements are purely atomic statements. purely atomic statements. That is, each DML statement will internally uses an implicit transaction. Each DML statement will internally uses an implicit transaction where upon performing the operations on a collection of records, if any of the record operation fails, then it will roll back the whole transaction. It will roll back the whole transaction. That means it will cancel all the previous operations. It will cancel all the previous operations. Second one, DML statements won't support partial processing mechanism. That is, while processing a group of records, if any of the record has been failed, then it should ignore the failed record and should continue with the rest of the records as it is. Third one, DML statements won't provide the proper tracking mechanism. That is, we can't track the result of each record operation. To overcome the above drawbacks, we have to use the help of database class. Database is a built-in class provided by Salesforce which can be used to interact with the Salesforce objects through programming, and we can perform all the DML operations. It provides a collection of static methods to be used to perform the DML operations. Now, database class methods will overcome all the limitations of DML statements. Now we have the below methods. Database dot insert method, update, delete, and delete, absurd, merge, empty recycle bin. Done up to this part. Done with the first point. Second, three also done.
Hello, sir. Sir, could you please
Yes.
once more repeat the full form of ACID, sir, ACID?
Atomicity,
Mm-hmm.
consistency, isolation, durability. These are the four pillars of transaction.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Done with these 3 points.
Excuse me, sir. It's up database update.
Yes. Done with this? Now, let's see the first method. I will show you one method here how to implement. Remaining will be similar fashion over here. We need to implement database dot insert method. What do you mean by this database dot insert method? What we can do? What is the use of this insert method? We can insert the record. One record or multiple records also. Now, in order to insert either one record or multiple records inside your Salesforce object, we are using the help of database dot insert method. So database dot insert is a built-in method given by database class which can be used to insert either one record or multiple records also. In this case, whenever we are inserting the records inside the object, we need to pass the indication whether you want to maintain partial processing mechanism or you want to maintain transaction management here. You want to perform like as normal DML statements or you want to allow partial processing mechanism, we need to indicate. For that one, as part of this insert method, we are having two parameters are available. First one, a list collection which contains a group of records which needs to be get inserted, and the second one, a boolean parameter which is indicating whether you want me to maintain transaction management or you want me to allow partial processing mechanism. So we want to pass a boolean value over here, true or false. If I'm passing true, it will maintain transactions. That means it will same working like as your normal DML statement. If I'm passing false, it will allow partial processing mechanism. Upon inserting the records, if one record has been failed, it will ignore the record. It will continue with the rest of the records as it is. Now tell me in this case here. I think you are aware of a concept called as the concept of data management. That means a data loader concept. In data loader concept, whenever I'm inserting the records inside the object through data loader, once a record insertions has been done, how many output files will be generating by data loader tool? Two output files. What are those two? Success file and error file. Success file contains what? Records which has been processed successfully. Error file contains what? Records has been failed. Now how it is doing that? How data loader is performing these two operations? Because of your batch program, because of this database class methods. When coming to the data loader internally uses database class methods. Because of the database class methods only, it is generating two output files over here. First one success file, second one error file. Okay, understood the concept here? The background implementation behind the data loader is purely database class methods. Okay, it may be insert, it may be update, it may be delete, it may be undelete, it will be purely because of database class methods. Okay, because of that here, it is generating two files, success and error file. Okay, now let's see. Make a note of this one. This method is used to insert either one or more records inside the Salesforce object. This method is used to insert either one or more records inside the Salesforce object. While inserting the records, we can enable the partial processing mechanism. And we can track the result of each record operation. Now syntax. Database dot insert. Here we are passing The collection name, where exactly the records are available. Second one, Boolean parameter. Now, once the insertion operations has been done, then it will represent the results in the form of database.saveResult class. Database.saveResult class. Now, now in this case, if I'm passing true, it allows the transaction management. That is, if any of the record fails, then it will roll back the whole transaction. False, it maintains the partial processing mechanism. Done with this? Now, so in this case, whenever we are performing the operations, if you are enabling that partial processing mechanism by passing the second parameter as false, then how can we track which record has processed, which record has failed? To do that, we are using the help of a class called as a database.saveResult class. Database.save result is a built-in class which will hold the result of one record upon saving. Upon saving the record, upon inserting the record, that record operation result it can able to save inside that. But this save result class can hold the result of only one record operation over here. But here we are inserting multiple records over here. We are passing the collection of records so that to hold the multiple records operations results, we are using database.save result array, or we can use a list collection of database.save result. Anyone here you can use. Okay. Then in this case, how can we track the result of each and every record operation? So for that reason, as part of database.save result class, it contains some built-in methods inside that here. So by using that built-in methods, how can we track the results? We'll see in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we'll see the practical concept of database class methods, how to perform the operation, how to use the database.save result, how to use the database.error class, what are the methods are available in both the classes we'll see, and then we'll see with the practical use case as well. Okay, now. So now tomorrow we'll be discussing about database class method, and day after tomorrow I'm going to be discussing about the concept of triggers. Okay, what exactly the triggers we'll see practically here. Now as part of this triggers concept here, first 3 classes will be completely theory. 3 classes will be purely theoretical. If you know these 3 concepts perfectly, if you know this theoretical concept perfectly, then only you can write even a simple single trigger also. If you miss any one of this, you can't write the triggers. Okay, so don't miss that next concepts here. These are very, very important here. Okay, thank you.